Hey guys, it's Nate Savage here again, and in the last lesson in this little mini-series, we covered the 5 basic pentatonic scale shapes, and I know a lot of you guys out there have got to be thinking, I already know this stuff, but how am I supposed to break out of that a pattern and habit of just playing regular box scale pentatonic shapes? And I'm going to show you something in this lesson. When you learn it, you're just not going to believe how easily you can navigate up and down your fretboard this way. And basically all it is 5 4-note patterns that occur on any 2 string pairs on the guitar. And once you learn these 5 patterns, you're just going to be able to fly up and down the fretboard no matter where you find yourself. And just like you learned, your pentatonic scale shapes, that regular like G major pentatonic scale shape, we're going to learn patterns that move up this way that are only 4 notes a piece. We're going to learn 5 of them. Actually, 2 of them are the same, so you only have to learn 4. Let's jump right into it and I'll show you the first one. So actually you already know these mini shapes whether you realize it or not because you know your pentatonic scale shapes. So come down here to the G note on the 3rd fret of the low E string. That's going to be your first note, just like we were playing a G major pentatonic scale. But instead of playing the whole scale, you're just going to play the first 4 notes here. So middle finger, 3rd fret, low E string, pinky, 5th fret, low E string. Next string over, 2nd fret with your index finger, 5th fret with your pinky. That's the whole shape. That's all you have to think about. You already know it because you already know that shape, right? So just think about that for a while. Play it a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the next 4-note shape up, you already know, because like we said earlier, you already know your pentatonic scale shape. So I'm only going to be using 4 notes of the next shape up. So start with your middle finger on this A note right here on the 5th fret of the low E string. Play that note, then you're going to play the 7th fret with your pinky. And play the exact same thing on the next string over the A string. And again, you don't have to use 2 and 4, you can use 1 and 3 if you like. But that's your next 4-note pattern. The next one up, you guessed it, starts on the 7th fret of the low E string with your index finger. Now this 4-note pattern is one that's spread out a little bit more, and you're going to be using your 1st and your 4th fingers. So 7th fret, low E string, play that note with your index finger, and then you're going to jump up to the 10th fret with your pinky. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the next string over. So that's your 3rd pattern for this navigational system that moves up and down the fretboard. So remember I told you there was 5 of these 4-note shapes, and that's not completely true because one of the shapes just repeats, and that's the next one. You already know this one, we already kind of went over it. But start on the 10th fret of the low E string. I use my middle finger for that one. Play that, and then play the 12th fret with your pinky. Hop over to the next string and play the exact same thing. 10, 12. And that's the next pattern of 4 notes in this sequence up the fretboard. So you're already familiar with that one, so that one's a breeze for you. The next and final one in the sequence is the shape that starts on the 12th fret with your index finger. And this is the classic kind of minor pentatonic shape. This one. But we're just going to play the first 4 notes again. So play 12, 15 with your index and 4th finger, and then go over to the A string and play 12, 14. And then get that one under your fingers. Just think about it, play it over and over again. So believe it or not, you just learned one of the keys to navigating your fretboard with 5 simple 4-note patterns up and down the fretboard. Now let me show you how to connect these guys, and then you're going to go, oh my goodness, I see how it works. No matter what pattern I'm on that I just played, I know what's directly below or above it. So I'm free to move wherever I want to as long as I have this sequence of 4-note patterns down on the guitar. Let me show you what I mean. So our first 4-note pattern The second one, third, fourth, which is the same as the second, and then the final one, the fifth one. So you can see how it just moved up the fretboard by playing the first one, moving right to the second one, third, fourth, fifth, all the way without stopping, right? And you can do that. Let me play it for you a little bit quicker without any interruptions so you can hear and feel what it kind of sounds like. And that's one way to do it, but you can also use sliding a lot when it comes to playing like this, and that gives it a really cool continuous feel that just goes up and down the fretboard really quickly, and I'll give you an idea what that sounds like. Now we're going to learn a little lick that incorporates going all the way up on one string pair, going up a regular box scale shape, and then comes back down string pairs on the top two strings too. So this is going to be a really good exercise for you. Get the patterns down first, and then you can dive into this lick. So as you can see, I used the string pair patterns that we're talking about all the way up to this G major pentatonic scale right here. And then I just descended down those same patterns all the way down the high E and B string. So let's learn this lick right now. There's a lot of sliding involved, so get ready for that. Start off on the third fret of the low E string, play the G major pentatonic 4-note pattern that we talked about. Slide up 2 frets with your pinky. Come down the second 4-note pattern that we talked about. Go back up that. Now you're going to slide up 3 frets to shape 3, the third pattern of 4 notes. Then come down and back up that again. Slide up 2 frets. Come back down the 4-note pattern that's next, the 4th pattern. And back up. Finally slide all the way up 2 more frets to the 14th fret and the 5th and final 4-note pattern. Play down those 4 notes and back up. Something that you should take note of is when I slide up to the 4th and final pattern, I use my pinky. I slide my pinky because that's the finger that I just played this pattern with, right? And coming down, when I come down this last 4-note pattern, I'm here on my pinky, and I grab the note on the 12th fret with my middle finger. Then just continue down the pattern as usual. That is the fingering that works best for me. You may be able to find something that works good for you. So once you play that part with the strange fingering right there, down the final 4-note little pattern that we've been talking about, all you're going to do is go up this pentatonic scale shape. And that's the next part of the lick. So let me play that part for you so far really slowly. So when we get to the 15th fret up here at the end of the scale, we're going to slide down 3 frets to the 12th fret with our pinky. And then we're going to continue down the next group of 4 notes to the next little pattern, and that's this one right here. So you go down the 4 notes and then go back up. Then you're going to slide down 2 frets to the 10th fret with your pinky. And pay attention right here because the pattern is not the same as it would be on the E and A strings because the root notes change place. Anyway, this is the pattern that you're going to be using right here. So that'd be pinky on the 10th fret, index finger on the 7th fret, then over to the 10th fret with your pinky on the B string, and then your middle finger is gonna grab the 8th fret with your, on the B string. So that's the 4-note pattern right there. So play down and then go back up. Then you're gonna slide down with your pinky all the way to the 7th fret and play this pattern. And the fingering changes a little bit here for me because this is the way I like to play. I like to use my pinky instead of playing, you know, like we normally would for this scale pattern. When I slide down with my pinky, I use my pinky a lot there. You don't have to. You can use your middle, your 3rd finger. Just to let you know, I use my pinky. And then I slide down from there to the final pattern, to the 5th fret with my pinky on that high E string. Play this pattern down, and then instead of playing it all the way back up, I just play back up 2 more notes to the G note to bring us back home. All I'm doing is moving through my 5 little shapes, 5 little 4-note shapes to navigate my way through pentatonics all the way up, all the way across a regular box scale shaped pentatonic, and then all the way back down the high E and B strings. So I'll do the entire lick for you really slowly so you can see exactly what's going on in real time. So you can see that if you know these 5 4-note patterns on your guitar, no matter where you are, if I find myself, if I'm in a certain key, like G, like we were just talking about, if I'm here and I know that this is G note and this is the 4-note pattern that I'm on, I know that below it will be this pattern, above it will be this one, so it's a really, really super useful navigational tool for you and your pentatonic scales to get to know your fretboard better. Now, one thing I want to let you know about is your G and B strings. Because of the way the guitar is tuned, it's going to be a little bit different. So let's say this G note right here, normally we would start on our 2nd finger and play this pattern. Now watch what happens when I go to this G on the 12th fret of the G string. If I play that shape, and then just pretend like I'm playing my normal pattern, normal 4-note pattern, does not work. You gotta make sure to compensate for the way your guitar is tuned. So make sure to take care and practice your G and B string pairs specifically because the patterns, the 4-note patterns, change on those 2 strings, that string pair. For every other string pair on the guitar, the ones we learned in this video will be the same. So make sure to check out the tab below for the lick that we just did, and I'll have some diagrams for the 5 shapes, 5 4-note shapes that we learned for you as well.